The coronavirus. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are dead. Many people have lost their livelihoods, their jobs, their loved ones, but me, I'm the worst affected because I've been mildly inconvenienced by not being able to go to IHOP. So, in this vein, I've started cooking at home, regrettably. This has led me to begin Snapchatting my cooking because one, it's fun, a fun thing to do and connect with people in a world that's more and more socially distanced, and two, I'm a flagrant narcissist. So, what a friend of mine, Zach, he's behind the camera, there he is, yes, offered to help do is to turn my show, which I've called Bone App the Teeth, into an actual show. So, tonight is the first episode, I hope you enjoy. What do people on YouTube say? If you like this, hit that smash button, smash that follow and subscribe shit, all the links below me. Anyways, tonight we're going to make a staple American sandwich called the Sloppy Joe. The Grand Sandwich, what we're talking about, originated in Pittsburgh in the early 1900s. It was essentially just chopped up and ground meat, mixed with Worcestershire sauce. No clue how to say it. What I'm going to do is take that and sort of modernize it. The sandwich that was called deviled hamburgers, Spanish minced meat, or hamburger a la Creole, or my personal favorite, the chopped meat sandwich, is going to be revolutionized into what I call the Fuego, Pollo, Sloppy Joe. I'm going to swap out the beef for ground chicken, less fat and less meat sweats. And then put in some more fiery sides. Fun fact, meat sweats are actually the third biggest cause of napping among American men, following only alcohol and depression. So, to go with the Sloppy Joe, I'm going to be making pretty much standard French fries, steak fry cut, because I love Texas Roadhouse. And then I'm also going to make my signature Dragonfire coleslaw. It's like regular coleslaw, but purple. I'm trying to expand the culinary horizons of a just basic Sloppy Joe with coleslaw on the side, like the church basement style, by giving it a little bit more of a southwestern kick. Sort of like how students from Penn State expand their horizons by going to Cabo for spring break every year. The difference is, instead of chlamydia, herpes, Mexican drug cartel ransoming, and burying a friend in the desert after a road trip gone wrong, we're going to make a delicious and fiery dinner. So, for the fries, you take your potatoes, you wash them, obviously, you slice them up into roughly equal pieces. If you have them all equal and uneven, which to be fair, I pretty much did, I'm not new at cutting up potatoes, and this knife is really sharp, they will cook unevenly. You're going to have some of them that are still crunchy and some of them that are burned to an absolute crisp. So what I'm going to do after they're all cut is just toss in regular salt. You can find this anywhere, including the oceans. If you pay for salt, you're a sucker. That's what Big Salt wants you to think. Lightly salt that, and then add in a little bit of paprika. You can get this at Walmart for $1. It gives it a nice, spicy flavor to it, and then it just gives everything a little bit of an added kick. So once I have that tossed in, I'm going to just start shaking the pan, or the bowl. Perfect. Once they're finished like that, you can then just start laying them out on your air crisper. You might not have one because your mom doesn't love you like mine does. But the main thing about this is that it lifts, using a copper tray, everything off the top, so it's not going to stew in its own juices or get too hot. It essentially turns your oven into an air fryer without you buying an air fryer. I told my mom I wanted an air fryer after I saw it on Twitter, because everybody's bitching about air fryers. You're going to take this and put it into an oven, tracking shot, next level shit, that you've preheated before the camera turned on to 375 degrees. We're going to throw it in there for about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to cut the camera and then wash my hands. Quick interlude. Fun fact about the potatoes, I've heard from a very reliable source, the internet, that potatoes actually can be totally washed in the store and by the packaging companies. You don't have to wash them at home. But since people think that means they're further removed from the ground and not as fresh, a lot of companies, after they've cleaned them, will actually reintroduce dirt over the top of the potatoes to dirty them up just a little bit so people think that they're more organic and fresher. I have no idea if this is true, and I'm not trying to sound like the Alex Jones of Spuds, but take that with a grain of salt or a grain of dirt. So the Dragonfire coleslaw came about when I did two things in one evening, senior year of college. The first one was that I went out for dinner at the cafeteria, and the prison grade slop that St. Ambrose University serves me gave me truly inadequate coleslaw. Sometimes coleslaw's not good, like from KFC. This coleslaw made me question my commitment to choosing this school. Exactly. It's garbage coleslaw. More like warm slaw, am I right? Anyways, that night, for unrelated reasons, I got belligerently drunk, and I wanted to make better coleslaw. I came home, only had red cabbage, and I only had Miracle Whip and sriracha sauce and lemon juice. And so I sliced all the stuff up, nearly killed my hand again, and then add everything together. And then when it came out, I had a very serviceable coleslaw that I still make today. I refined the recipe. I now use a food processor because I'm bougie like that. And this is how you make it. You start off with about 2.5 cups of purple cabbage. I'm using purple because 1, it looks better, 2, I think the nutritional information is different, and 3, I think it tastes zestier. You're going to take that, and you're pretty much just going to shove it up into the top of the food processor. Turn it on low. And then you're just going to keep doing that until you run out of it. This is my second favorite type of cabbage, behind Jazz. I'm kidding. I don't smoke pot anymore. It comes with a stopper, and you should use that. We're going to pause while I clean up my kitchen real quick. Alright, so for this next part of the purple cabbage, once it's all finely chopped, you take your top out of the bowl. It's a bowl. And then you're just going to slowly dump it into the pot that you have available for it. Make sure it's nice and ground, give you that nice shredded feel. Wash your hands before you do this. Next, once you have all this, this is the fun part. You're going to take a certain number of second count of squeezes of sriracha sauce. If you're like white, like 840 credit score, like tan in the moonlight white, I'd start out with a 3. If you're hardcore hipster or like, you know, spicy white, go with a 6. That's my 6. And then if you're still white, you're going to love this next step. I'm going to pour out the Miracle Whip, which I've gotten because it's a little bit less fattening than mayo. And let's just say that your boy has a genetic history of high blood pressure. Anyways, you're going to go ahead and squirt that in about a 3 count. Get the squeezy top, comes out in a pretty good clip. Then you're going to take a fork and just start mixing that up. And then it's going to become pretty apparent this is a fairly slow-going thing, and you should have used a bigger container. We're going to cut here, and I'm going to transfer to a larger bowl. Alright, now that it's in the appropriate size container, you're going to get a better chance to, 1, swirl it around. I feel like one of those French peasant women churning my dough or whatever as I hope my husband comes back from war fighting the cursed English. I'm kidding. I would never be French. Once you get that nice and stirred up, you can then take a look at what else you're going to need from it. It looks like right now, especially coming from the smell, it's a little bit zesty, so I'm going to add in some mayonnaise to cut the burning that comes off the sriracha sauce. Otherwise, you just have kicking cabbage and then like a chili garlic sauce, which is amazing, but is a little bit off-putting if you're looking for something that's going to soothe the taste of a spicy sloppy joe. So you're going to put another quick 2 count in. 1 miss, 2 misses. That's close enough. And then you know it's going to be popping when it turns a nice color of orange around the edges of the purple. This should... Imagine if you threw Spyro the Dragon into a blender. If you're not a huge Spyro the Dragon fan, I guess.
What kind of monster are you?
I was always a Donkey Kong man.
Oh,
he lives life as I want to live life. He has a monogram tie and no pants.
Touche.
Yeah. Also, is Diddy Kong his son? 'Cause that's a different kind of ape. Or primate.
I always thought he was his son.
I thought, are they affiliates or like family? Because Diddy's
They're
got
definitely family.
Because he's got like the Kong, but he's got like a long tail.
Yeah, because he's a chimpanzee.
Chimps don't have long tails.
No, you're right. I don't know.
All right. So once it's nice and mixed like this, you're gonna take out some finely sliced green onions. This is what other people call scallions. Those people are bougie bitches. They're green onions. Bam. Emerald always made it sound so much cooler. Zest. There we go. And then much more masculine. Then you're going to stir those in as well. Then I'm going to get my tasting fork. We're going to try and see if it's too spicy or not. By the way, in these videos, spicy is a very subjective word. What I've found to be spicy is what some people consider to be intolerable, and some people, people who weren't raised by English women, to be standard. So, grain of salt. Alright, once it's all mixed up together, you're going to take this bowl and you're going to put it in your fridge or cooling device. I'm not the boss of you. And put that there so you can let that properly marinate in and of itself while you make the rest. For the sloppy joes, that actually comes with a fair amount of vegetables in them. I've got onions, bell peppers, which is some of the sweetest peppers you can have, and then habanero peppers, which are about 3 times spicier than jalapeno peppers. There's actually a scale called the Scoville scale that goes from 1, which is sugar, to 6 million, which is pure capsaicin, which is the chemical ingredient that makes spicy shit happen. And then everything in between is measured in Scoville units off the guy who discovered it. He was a baller, James Scoville, look him up. I'm going to spray up my pan really quick. By the way, another conspiracy, this is not 0-calorie cooking spray. It's 0 calorie if you spray it for 1/4 of a second. So, that. Bullshit. Anyways, I'm going to dump all this in and then toss the pan on medium heat. Let everything cook down in and of itself. And then we're going to let that sort of stew in and of itself for a second, and I'm going to get back to making the actual ground chicken mixture itself. But first, the fries might be ready to come out of the oven. Let's check those. Should have thought this through better. Grab a fork. Alright. It's been 20 minutes. It's got a little bit of resistance to it, a little bit of a crunch, which this shouldn't have. Taste is pretty good. I'm gonna go get the ketchup. Oh god damn it, I didn't get ketchup. We're gonna give it another 10 minutes. Go. Alright, so I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. I have no idea if it actually is, I've never tried this before. For $5, sophomore year of college, someone else, bought me this UV Sriracha. It is Sriracha flavored vodka, obviously, and it tastes disgusting. So I mostly use it in additives in cooking. I want to try a little bit, like a half shot extra, into the onions, give it a little bit more of a kick and flavor, and also to make it sizzle. So to make the sloppy joe mix, I'm going to take 1 pound of 85-15 ground chicken, throw that into the bowl. We're going to mash that down. Fuck it. Wash your hands for that. I have. And then once it's down, make sure you spread it out and mash it down so you can put your sauces in it. I have here a 1.5 cups of picante salsa, the actual hot stuff, not that mild bullshit you can buy by the jug in a Walmart for $6. This, by the way, is not real salsa. Don't serve it at your fucking Super Bowl party. You're trash. This is white people, church basement, walking taco, bag of Doritos bullshit. And I won't have it in my home. Alright, and now, because the peppers are still a little bit smoky, the meat's cooking on the stove with it, we're going to do what every teacher from 1st grade till now has told me to do before in my life, and we're going to put a lid on it. Now, and we're going to check on the fries now. Let's pull these out again. Let's see what another fry looks like. It's hot. Yeah. Doesn't crunch. Soft throughout, hard on the outside. I could have seasoned them a little bit more, but they are at least cooked. So, we're going to turn the oven off, and then I'm going to move those out of there. And then I'm going to take the buns and prepare those, and then let them use the heat of the oven that's left over to lightly toast before we put sloppy joes on them. So, the key to preparing your bun is to have them pre-sliced beforehand. What I'm going to do with them is to coat the top with a nice layer of Anderson Erickson hot jalapeno Mexican-style sour cream dip. It's going to give it a nice cool texture to cut the burning of the coleslaw and then the actual meat itself. Just a little knife. Stir it up and then spread a nice layer of the top bun on each one. Okay, so now that you get your chicken all mashed up around here, we're going to dump in the picante salsa. I've added a little bit of minced garlic to it, just for a kick. Fun fact about me, I used to live in the Oakland, California area, which is nearby Gilroy, California, which is not just the garlic capital of the world, but also the artichoke capital of the world. There is an amusement park, which has been renamed to Gilroy Gardens. Back in the day, the real heads called it Bonfonte Gardens, because that was the name. And they had a tilt-a-whirl ride that had legitimate garlic bulbs that you could spin around. And then their teacup ride, you know, the Disney rip-off teacup ride, was artichoke bulbs. So my childhood was pretty wild. That's why people from Oakland are so tough. Gilroy Gardens, straight out of it. Get the sauce nice and evenly in there. Nobody likes a big chunk of white chicken, unseasoned, cold, bland, the culture of Nebraska. It's garbage. To get it all nice and mixed up. Then we're going to toss in a little bit of cayenne pepper, more of that paprika, the ground cumin. This gives it that like smoky flavor that you find in a lot of Mexican dishes. Keep stirring that up, and then we're going to add a couple seconds of squirt of Heinz Original Barbecue Sauce. Make sure we really round out the flavor profile. And then stir that all up again. When it's all evenly mixed and is the same color throughout, then you're ready to throw that in on top of all of the onions and peppers that you've got going on. That is close enough for government work. So we're going to take it over here. The sklorp means it's nutritious. Alright, cool. I've got the burner on high, or I had the burner on medium, and then I filmed other parts of this, which was a mistake, because it smoked the hell up in here. And it turns out if you leave habanero peppers to smoke up on a stovetop, not only will it make smoke, it will make smoke with capsaicin in it, which will burn your eyes and mouth. We've been having a coughing fit. That window's open right now. Blower's on full. We sneezing up in this bitch. So yeah, make sure you keep those peppers all nice and moist. Toss in some butter, a little bit of water. Maybe not chili pepper vodka. That's gonna go down as bad of a decision as actually drinking the chili pepper vodka. Never again. Keep evenly coating it. If there's a slight glitch thing in the video, that is because I ran out of storage, and instead of graciously allowing me to delete all of my treasured memories to save room for this cooking show that I've done 1.5 episode of, Zach lets me use his phone, so kudos to him. So once they're all coated like this, I'm going to just top them back up. And then we're going to put these back into the oven. This is going to let them toast on the outside but still stay soft on the inside, giving you that nice crunch without going all the way through crunchy. We're going to take these off of the copper top and then just throw them in a receptacle. Close enough. Motherfuck!
Came out of the oven, brother.
Yep, it came out of the oven. Don't do that. Learn from me, kids.
You got a spatula?
Yeah, but like, why dirty them?
Valid.
Take these, and we're gonna put those right up over here to the side. So the buns have been in the oven for about 9 months. Hey, I'm kidding. Wrap it whence you tap it, kids. But these buns are about done. So you can take a look at these. They're lightly crunchy on the outside and have a little bit of give without being too hard. So then take them out, and then you can open them back up and see, hopefully, yep, it's melted just a little bit into the bun, leaving it all nice and moist on the inside. Okay, so taking the buns, top them open, toss the fries on the side. Now I'm going to spoon a quarter of the plate to a couple of nice scoops of the Dragonfire coleslaw. I don't know if you're familiar with Murphy's Law. That's something that was really elaborated on in the 1993 classic Jurassic Park. Murphy's Law basically states that if something can go wrong, it eventually will. And if you're familiar with coleslaw, it's this. It's thinly sliced cabbage. I couldn't resist. It's a classic joke. For someone who was raised by lesbians, I am good at dad jokes. Okay. And then we're actually don't cut. Wait, did you cut? Perfect. We're still going. Anyways, now I'm going to take the pan off the stove. Lower it down, and then I'm going to take a nice, evenly keeled amount of spiced chicken, and then I'm going to toss that on top of. Actually, you know what? I got an idea for this. To make it a little bit less sloppy, although that might be heresy in the Sloppy Joe circle, I'm going to take, let me get behind you, Zach, a measuring cup, game changer. And then, wait for it, bam! About a 2/3 of a cup of a Sloppy Joe. Bam! And then bonus points if you don't miss like I just did. So now, they're nice and steamy. And then you can top this with whatever sauces you normally like. I like to do spicy, sweet, marinated pickles on mine. Top your french fries with whatever you want. I'm in the Midwest. I'm going to use some spicy ranch because that's, you know, keeping with a theme. We're going to cut that one out. And then you're good to go. Bon appetit.